Watch the handshake. At the G20 summit this week in Hamburg, Germany, President Donald Trump of the United States and President Vladimir Putin of Russia shook hands. I am so glad that the world does not analyze my handshakes. But Judy James, a body language specialist, said that Trump nailed the handshake with Putin. Trump's open hand, palm up approach to Putin was followed by a double-fisted hand pump, to which the only response that Putin could have was to extend his palm down hand, and then he pointed his finger at Trump, which, with a smile, still stands for pointing a weapon at someone, according to the specialist. Now, I know that this is uncontestable because this social behavior body language specialist was quoted in the United Kingdom's The Sun, which at times is equivalent to our National Enquirer, which I always believe. A recent article that caught my eye was, and get this, this is true, Cuba launches shark attack on the United States. Karen, you're looking at me like, no way. Okay, so seriously, many of us watched that handshake. Who are these leaders who met in Hamburg? There are 20 members of G20, 19 countries, and the European Union. Spain is considered a permanent guest at the G20 summits, and then extra guests are frequently invited by the host country. So this year, Angela Merkel invited 3 partner countries, Norway, the Netherlands, and Singapore, as well as the African Union, represented by Guinea, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, represented by Vietnam, and the new Partnership for Africa's Development, represented by Senegal. There were many areas of agreement. Trade and climate change were particularly difficult subjects. Reports yesterday morning or Friday morning said that the world leaders have made clear the U.S.'s isolated stance on climate change, with 19 of the G20 countries affirming their commitment to the irreversible Paris Climate Agreement. After lengthy negotiations that stretched well into yesterday morning, the final G20 joint statement notes Donald Trump's withdrawal from the Paris deal, while stating that the world's other major economies all still support the international effort to slow dangerous global warming. Though handshakes are analyzed, election meddling is addressed, the threats for intercontinental ballistic missiles are recognized, I am grateful that many of our world's leaders who strongly impact global issues met together in Germany this week. I'm grateful. We are an increasingly smaller world. What we do here in America can and does impact women and men, boys and girls across this planet. And the Christian church has a sacred responsibility. Slow down, Holbrook. Okay, let's take a break for a second. They just finished the middle school conference at Massanutten Springs. And I remember with joy the years that Laura and I were working there, and she was in charge of the middle school conferences, and I got to hear their jokes at breakfast. I mean, there is such energy in middle schoolers. You know, the graduated 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are just beautiful to work with. So I'm at breakfast one morning, and one of the kids came up and said, knock, knock, banana, knock, knock, banana, knock, knock, banana, knock, knock, orange. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Now, that's an old one, and I pretended as if I had never heard it. Now, one morning, I was actually speaking. I was saying, good morning to you. It's great to have you at breakfast this morning. We're having a wonderful day, and I hope your day goes great. And this guy came in from Perth, Scotland, and he said, you're faking it. I said, I'm so embarrassed. I'm just a Southerner, I promise. I was just playing around. It was so cool. Okay, so this repetition of banana, 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 orange will help you remember Matthew chapter 10 that Jennifer just read. This repetition comes to mind in this text when Jesus says, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me." And Jesus continues this with this whoever welcomes formula, much like the knock-knock jokes keep saying banana, 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 banana. Whoever welcomes, 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 welcomes. Whoever welcomes you, or welcomes me, or welcomes the prophet, or welcomes the righteous person receives a blessed reward. And just when we expect Jesus to say one more welcome, the fifth time, he changes the formula. Whoever gives even a cup of cold water to the least of persons in the name of a disciple, I tell you, those persons will not lose their reward. Whoever welcomes, 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 welcomes whoever gives. Emma Lazarus lived in New York. Her father had immigrated from Germany, her mother from Portugal. Emma was the fourth of 7 children. She helped establish the Hebrew Technical Institute in New York City to provide vocational training to assist destitute Jewish immigrants to become self-supporting citizens. And in 1883, 4 years prior to her death at the young age of 38, Emma penned the words of the poem, The New Colossus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning and her name Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, she cries with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. This is Immigration Sunday, and today we focus on the immigrant, on the asylum seeker, on the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. How many of you have been to see the Statue of Liberty? It's a powerful experience, and this poem is actually on a plaque in the pedestal of the statue, because Emma raised money for that pedestal to be built in New York City to enable the statue to have a firm foundation. To the tired, the poor, the wretched, the homeless, the tempest-tossed, our nation has historically said welcome. And the Christian, without hesitation, says welcome. Why? For Christians, we teach that there are blessings that come to those who extend hospitality, who give hospitality. But we don't extend hospitality because we are going to get something in return. Mike, I don't have people invited into my home to be able to just welcome you so that I feel good. I would have you and Lee come not conditional upon my feeling good, but to know that it's because we extend hospitality. We extend that love. That's the love I felt at your home, even as your dog jumped on me. It was wonderful. I love your dog. Why then are we so dedicated to becoming the immigrant, to welcoming the immigrant or the seekers of asylum? Because we will make it to heaven, or we'll have a bigger mansion we go to when those pearly gates are open? Is that why we welcome? Jesus says, in essence, it's easy to welcome the prophet or the righteous person. Some of you remember the ministry of evangelist Billy Graham. Well, I saw him one day at the Cracker Barrel restaurant in Stanton, Virginia. He was there to speak at his granddaughter's high school graduation. I left him alone after he had gotten his meatloaf, but people were crowding him and asking for an autograph as his food got cold. It's easy to welcome a prophet. If he had asked if he could stay at my home, I would have been happy to have Billy and Ruth stay. But just when we settle in with Jesus' words, feeling pretty cozy about how well we welcome others, he shifts gears. Welcome, 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 give. Banana, 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 orange. You will never forget Matthew chapter 10. Why does he shift from welcoming to giving? Because everyone from the least to greatest deserves to be loved. Everyone, from the Syrian refugee to the undocumented valedictorian of her Texas high school class, to the Guatemalan who mulches local flower beds in Overland Park, or the Nicaraguan who picked the strawberries that we ate for breakfast. Everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone is a child of God. Everyone who is thirsty deserves the cup of cold water. Everyone who is hungry deserves daily bread. Everyone who is homeless deserves a safe place, a dry place, a soft bed on which to lay her head. Jesus commands us to give the cup of cold water to the least impressive, to the tired, the poor, the huddled masses. Why? Because they are children of God. He asks us to give the cup of cold water to them, not in the name of good deeds or in the name of the Statue of Liberty or because the G20 summit reminds us that we are citizens of the world. Jesus commands us to give in His name. We are to accompany our acts of kindness with this message that we give because we are disciples of Jesus Christ. And we do not do it alone. Myron Augsburger commented on this text saying that one of the clear messages of Jesus is that in the body of Christ, we need to welcome all those who are willing to help us and guide us. He says we are a team, and the supporting players are participants with the lead players. The church is a symphony rather than a series of solo recitals. We do together what no one person can do alone. Another person reflecting on giving this cup of cold water to the little ones, which in Greek is the mikros. Can you hear the word micro? Small, the little ones. Giving a cup of cold water says these acts of welcoming come at a cost that surpasses food, water, and shelter. They bind those who offer welcome intricately with those who are welcomed. And these acts are not one-off events, but constitute the defining feature of the mission, generating those social settings where God's way is articulated, discerned, and even either accepted or rejected. We really have no choice but to extend the handshake of hospitality and the cup of welcome. When we do it, according to Matthew 25, when we do it to the least of these, the mikros, we are doing it unto Christ. So it's Immigration Sunday, and some might say, okay, Fred, you're getting too political here. And I would say to that, friends, this is way above political. This is not Democrat. This is not Republican. This is not independent. This is Christian. Hospitality and welcome